Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
Audible is the destination for thrilling audio entertainment with next listen recommendations to habituate every type of thriller listener.
The time is now more than ever to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
So, Ronnie, I recently downloaded Squeeze Me by Carl Hyacin, mainly because it shows a martini glass with a snake tail wrapped around it. I mean, what else needs to be said? And I am very excited to listen to it later today.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
At Saks.com, it's easy to find your new vibe. Dive into the Western trend with gold cowboy boots from Staud, or go full 90s throwback with platforms from Prada.
You can shop Saks.com for everything on your agenda, whether it's a breezy Zimmermann dress for a garden party or a bright Chloe blazer for brunch.
Find inspiration for your new vibe every day at Saks.com.
Do you struggle trying to reach those corner lashes when applying mascara? L'Oreal Paris' new Panorama Mascara catches every lash for corner-to-corner volume.
Your sister has been using this, right?
She loves it. Yes, they sent me some, and I gave it to my sister and my nieces. And actually, I looked at, I saw my niece the other day and was like, your eyelashes, is that the new mascara? She's like, yes, look at them. They were like fanned out. I mean, this is a great product.
You can buy Panorama Mascara on Amazon today.
Want to see life in panorama with fully fanned out lashes? Now you can with L'Oreal Paris Panorama Mascara that creates corner-to-corner panoramic lash volume.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today, as usual, is someone who's been known to saunter over to the Chateau Marmont and fuck a director. It's Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm definitely a Spielberg in the afternoon kind of a boy, man.
Soderbergh on the streets, Spielberg in the sheets.
Little Nora Ephron in my dreams. Let's talk about my past.
Nancy Myers on the streets and John Singleton in the sheets. I don't know. I love the Nancy Myers John Singleton spectrum there.
Yeah, that was a pretty hot one, actually.
R.I.P.
Nice to begin the valley with a boner. Because the rest of this episode is going to deflate it, I'll tell you that much. I'm actually sitting over here eating these chocolates that Peacock sent us. Peacock, wow. Can I just say, bravo, up your fucking game. You've never done anything like this. I mean, Peacock, I will marry you. Is that what you're asking me for? Because I fucking will.
You guys, you don't even realize Peacock sends out the best boxes. They usually send out like one a year, maybe two. Last year, there was a full-on charcuterie board with a charcuterie and all this. I mean, it was like the most fabulous display. I mean, admittedly, the charcuterie board had, based on a true story, embedded into it, like carved into it, which was a show they had with Kelly Cuoco. But like, I will have some Kelly Cuoco on my charcuterie board if it's going to be that nice.
I'll have some Kelly Cuoco cheese.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is this big, huge one. It's called, I don't know. It says Peacock is unlocking the Bravo vault, and then first of all, I couldn't open it because let me show
you. I unscrewed my vault. I actually broke my box because I did it wrong. Did you break your box?
Some intern over there fired, by the way, because we're complaining about this box. But let me just show you, because we're on Crappens on Demand, so this is on video. So this is the thing. It's huge, right? So this is the thing. It's a big vault door. And it says Peacock is unlocking the Bravo vault. Well, you can't get it out because look at all this foam holding it in the box. So I'm trying to figure out, is it a is it a combination?
Is it a twist?
I'm like,
I was twisting it.
It's bolted.
Well, I was twisting it.
Me
so
too.
I was like, oh, you have to untwist it, and then I untwisted it long enough that the bolts. I twisted the knob off, and then the housing fell down, and then I was like, wait, this still didn't open, and then I couldn't open it. I was like.
Yeah, I see, because it's bolted, and then when you turn the bolt, it clicks. There's like a click, and I was like, oh, it's a combination. I thought it was like an escape room, and I really normally wouldn't care because it's a PR box. So if I can't open something, I just move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if there's a business with a door that's locked and it says use other door, and I'm too tired to walk to the other door, I'll just go to another restaurant. So I'm that kind of person. But I heard a click, and I was like, it's an escape room. And I saw on the packaging that there was something perishable. So I knew it was food. So of course, my ass has been starving for months at a time.
Yeah.
I'm starving. And so I was like, there's food in there. So I'm like trying to open it. I'm trying to do the combination. I'm looking for clues on the box. It took me 20 minutes until I finally just got so upset that I pulled at it and it came off. Okay. So anyway.
Well, by the way, I saw other people's stories who had it, like Bravo Doc, like
stories about it.
Yeah, I mean, I made a story. So Ceci got it. Two Judgy girls got it, and both of them, they just are like, guys, check out this box, and they just take the vault and they just open it up like normal humans.
What's wrong with us?
I literally, if you go look at my story, it's me twisting it off and breaking it, and then I couldn't get into it, and then I had to like stop my story and be like, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to come back to this. But then when you open it up, it's like all these different boxes.
Look at this. It looks like a very fancy tea box. Okay, but the reason I'm showing you...
I love how yours are like falling out. And
well, I'm showing you, this is what binge eating disorder looks like. Look everybody. I just opened this 10 minutes ago, and it's all different kinds of chocolates, and it's in these boxes that say the names of the shows that they're releasing on Peacock, Blood, Sweat, and Heels, $1 Million Decorators. I have not had chocolate in so long. I saw this. I became like a zombie seeing fresh human. I was like,
fresh human.
I went through one,
How
two,
fresh is your
three,
human today?
4, 5 of the damn boxes. I've eaten thicker than water. Terrible show. Great chocolate. I've eaten Top Chef Just Desserts. I ate
Pause right there about this Top Chef Just Dessert little box. Okay, so when I got the box, I picked it up from the UPS store, and it said perishable, and I was like, there's food in here, but what if I don't like the food? So on the way home, I dropped by Starbucks and got myself a cookie just in case I needed a cookie. Because I'm like, I'm gearing myself up for a tasty
on your way
snack.
Back from yoga.
Girl. No, this was just on my yoga was on Monday. Yesterday was like slob day. So I was like, if there's a snack in here and I'm excited about it, and then I don't like it, I want to make sure I have a
You don't
nice
want
snack.
disappointment. Yeah, I hear you.
So I got myself a cookie. So then I come home. I managed to break into this vault. So I see all these little boxes, and I'm like, what's in the box? So I pick up the Top Chef Just Desserts box, and I open it up, and I see 2 beautiful little chocolates. They're from Compartes or whatever.
Comparte.
Famous chocolatier. So I was like, oh, this is good.
I can
this
see
is
why.
Be a good one.
This shit's good.
So I see 2 little chocolates. One says Peacock, one says Bravo. I'm like, this is delightful. Now, if you're like me, which not many people are, like I hate so many berries that going into like every box of chocolate is actually a high stress thing for me. This is not a far scum for me. This is like, you never know which chocolate is going to betray you. Like I can't dive into them. But I was like, you know what, Ben, be an adult. You ate a strawberry last week. I did do that. I ate a strawberry last week. You can do this. It's okay. And so I sniffed the Top Chef Just Dessert chocolate. I was like, it smells like chocolate. I put one in my mouth. Raspberry. I missed the fact that there were labels on the back of all these boxes. And now I have this raspberry flavor in my mouth, and it does not go away for 90 minutes. And I was dying. Not even the cookie could sense it. I was so glad I got that cookie. But then I was afraid to eat any other chocolates after that.
Well, I know that you don't like it, and I'm sorry, because I saw that raspberry, and I was like, I'm going to eat this first. Because I know that if I was with you, you'd be like, burn it alive.
But like, it was so cruel that it was on the Top Chef Just Dessert. Like, it was on the dessert.
Well, you know something's going to be crazy there.
Box.
Everybody on that show is fucking nuts. You had to know that wasn't going to be the best one just because it says dessert. Remember that those people were crazy. One of them went to jail for like pedophilia or something.
I know. Wait, did you? And the other one broke down on the show and famously goes, "Red Hots for my mommy." I have a question. Did you have the New York City prep chocolates yet?
No, because I saw a tweet
apple.
about them today. I think Malls tweeted something about that show. It was like, just so you know, one of them is on drugs now and panhandling in the subway, and one works for Arbonne.
Well, what else?
And I was like, that's depressing. I'm not eating that chocolate. That's the sad
it's also
chocolate.
like it's chocolate apple, and I just don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, chocolate apple's delicious. I mean, look, so far I've eaten about 10 of these boxes within 5 minutes, and they are all good. The raspberry one was fantastic. This
It actually was good considering it was raspberry.
It was delicious. And so anyway, bravo, Peacock, thank you for these chocolates. This is the longest ad we've ever done. So smart marketing.
They did it.
And I'm sorry for everybody who had to sit through just this long chocolate ad, but Comparte chocolates, you guys are great. Go watch these shows on Peacock. They did just release 1 million of their old classic shows. I Dream of Nene is on there, Thicker Than Water.
Blood, Sweat, and Heels.
There's some good shows in there to go back and watch. So go do that. And thank you for the chocolate. Please feel free to send chocolate.
Please feel free. Real quickly,
I'm never going to lose another pound. I hate my life. Fuck it. Do the rest of the intro. I'm going to eat this chocolate.
Okay, this is real quick. We have Netflix is a Joke coming up in like 2 weeks in LA, so come join us for that. That's going to be the Kookaburra Lounge, which is going to be a great time. We are having shows in London, Dublin, and Birmingham in England. Ronnie's about to have another chocolate. This is why you should watch Crappens on Demand, which you can get on Patreon. Which one is that, Ronnie?
Shouts of Sunset Rose Water Chocolate.
Rose is dangerous. It has to be used carefully, but it's good. Mm-hmm. I like that. It's a Persian themed chocolate because rose is a common ingredient in Persian food.
On the machine, Rose. On the machine.
On the machine, Rose. So anyway, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. Tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. Okay, so let's talk about The Valley, which continues to really be great TV, great depressing TV. I of course feel like a jerk because in the first episode I said that Nia was a monster, and I was like, she was a monster. I'm sure the
entire audience was thinking of that last night too, because I know that I was like, wow, Ben really fucked.
And I was like, I feel like I see it. I see that she's a monster. This may or may not come true, but like, of course, if it does come true. For right now, she's not a monster. She's actually been very lovely, and she's struggling with postpartum. So, who is the real monster?
Listen,
me.
You weren't a monster for saying it. You're guessing. You would have said it if you would have been a monster if you said it while she's crying with postpartum. Like, fuck that lady. But you didn't say it that way. You said it way at the beginning, so it doesn't count against you. And guess what else? Monsters cry. Okay, so.
By the way, I still am concerned that her husband's eyes are pools of darkness. That like really freaks me out. But
her husband does this with his face too. He opens his lips and just shows his teeth. Like it's kind of like a cartoon smile, but it's not really a smile. It's just like 302, 302 guys. 302. I noticed that last night and I couldn't stop doing it all night. I was moving my mouth like that. 302 guys.
His eyes are like, they're just like tuna eyes, you know, like just like these. I say this because I was just watching my Apple screensaver.
I have the fish one on too. I don't.
Yeah, you know but they have like that school of tunas, just like what, huh, what, huh, what, huh.
Yeah.
And I was looking at their eyes. I was like, that's kind of like what Danny's eyes are. They're just sort of like a monochromatic thing, and I just feel like it's scary. Also, like he really dropped down a lot this episode for me. It's like, have you ever heard of a hotel? You're an actor, okay? The air conditioner went out. You've got kids. Get a hotel room, okay? Don't drag your wife back from Malibu.
And I'm not dissing voiceover artists. I'm just saying that he's not like Julia Roberts right now. He was
on the OC.
He's doing extra voiceover work on The Walking Dead. Okay, he's not able to. We just saw that Tom Schwartz on the other show is paying $4,500 a month to live in that dump. So. I don't know how much he's making that he can just go to a hotel. Now, that said, he dropped down in my book because his wife is sitting there crying, and he's like, yeah, I still bang you 6 times a week. Give her a break. She just popped 3 Pop-Tarts out. Like, she just popped out 3 Danny-branded Pop-Tarts. Could you give the woman a break? Her boob is leaking while you're talking about that.
Literally, her boob is crying.
Can she clock out for 5 minutes?
It's not lactating. It's crying. Her boob is weeping.
Her
But you know
boob
what
was
though?
crying. It was like,
She's like,
please.
enough. But also, like, do you not have any friends? Like, what? Like, think about it more deeply. You don't have a single friend that you can go to whose place is air conditioned. And also, the air conditioning broke in your place. So you said that's why you can't go to a pool party? Isn't that exactly where you want to go? Is a swimming pool? I don't know. Something is.
Well, it's
He's on
also
my shit
millions
list
of
right now.
kids. He's got 3 babies. I don't think that anybody wanted him to show up at that pool party. I mean, there's like bringing one is fine that can go run around and play with Cruzy, but I don't know that you want 3 crying babies. But I don't know. That's the thing. That's why you don't have 3 at a time like that. You fucking monsters. So they are monsters for that. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? They're like my chocolate. At least my chocolate addiction, I can keep at home, and it's not screaming at everybody in the store. Okay, your binging is on like DNA. Stop it. Okay, so on Vanderpump Rules, we saw Lala have this desperate kind of storyline sperm party where she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so edgy talking about sperms," and then you come out over to this show, and Jax is just always having a sperm party. I mean, that guy's giving it away at the fucking AM PM, pretending to get coffee every day.
Yeah, talk about creamer.
It's a more natural show these days.
Yeah.
This one, the Val.
Yeah, well, because they're all in miserable relationships that are all going in one direction, and it's not a good way. Not a good direction.
It's not. It's the same direction One Direction went. It's not a good one. I'll tell you that much.
There's no Harry Styles in this group, though. So we're at Jax and Brittany's house, and
I guess
Brittany
it did go well for some of them. I have to take that
It
back.
actually went pretty well for
Most
I
of
would
them.
say like 2 or 3. I would say like 3 of them. I think Zayn. It was going well for Zayn for a moment. Now it's going badly for Zayn.
Oh, Zayn, because he got into it with Yolanda Foster. That was the end of Zayn.
The other one,
was
wasn't he like an abuser or something like that?
Well, I don't remember
In addition-
what happened. It was something not good, that's for sure. It was something very bad. I remember that he got into it with Yolanda, and she said, like, he grabbed her arm or something. Like, he came into the house, and he was sick of Yolanda Foster always being in there bossing him around, which you know is true. But, I mean, you married a Yolanda child. You think Yolanda just showed up there? He knew what he was getting into, and it was Yolanda's business is what. And then I think he got abusive or crazy or something, and
Yeah,
then
something
she
like that.
called the police on his stupid ass. What a little shithead that guy.
Yeah.
Like, when you make me stick up for Yolanda Foster, that's a shame, you know? Shame on you.
Talk
Zane.
about
You
someone who's
deserve
not on the
everything
dream
you're getting.
team. You're not on the dream team.
Yeah.
So
You're not on dream team. My king. You are
the
not my
point is
king.
that the point is this: One Direction doing pretty well. People in the Valley not doing as well as One Direction.
Not doing well.
People on the Valley are doing more. They're doing more. They're more like The Wanted, which was the fake One Direction that was out for a second.
Well, we have a couple of things. First of all, this recap's never going to start. I don't know if anybody out there is wondering, like, I wonder if they're ever going to start talking about the show. No, we're not.
No.
So that's
we're
the
talking
day
about
you're in
chocolate.
for. A couple of things about this. One, we have a friend, an old queen in a bar that we talk to every once in a while that always has good Bravo gossip. And before this show started, this queen was like, I know this cast. I know them. I hang out with them. And Janet sucks. She's the most boring person ever. She's going to be terrible TV. And what else did she say? I forget what else she said, or he said. But guess what? That queen in a bar was wrong. And that queen in a bar is not wrong often. Janet is TV gold.
I love
And
Janet.
so is literally everyone here. They all showed up like they've been doing this for 20 years. I mean,
Yeah.
all these people going through all this in their 5th episode. It's episode
You know, later-
5, and they're all getting divorced already. Wow.
Well, you know what? It's like later in the episode, Nia is explaining how she has high functioning depression, and what this whole cast has is high functioning idiocy, and so that really works well for being on Bravo, I think.
It does. You can be an idiot and still get things done.
Like you can still clock in, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, not to
I
make
wish I
light
had
of
high
Nia's
functioning depression. My depression is so run of the mill. I'm like so embarrassed. I'm so basic with my depression. I need more interesting depression.
I have low functioning, like average, like averageness.
I have low
I'm
functioning.
like not depressed,
but yeah,
just
my
low
resting
functioning.
state is
Just
low
low
functioning for sure.
I'm a high functioning, low function person.
I function lowly at a very high level.
Okay. I'll tell you what is also high functioning.
Me, because
Zach's
I'm a
hair.
fucking crack right now. I'm cracked out. I just had 30 boxes of chocolate. I forgot what this shit does to you. This is like doing drugs again. This is
Chocolate,
amazing.
chocolate.
Oh my God, how did I ever quit this?
Well, I've never been able to quit chocolate. So, as evidenced by the fact that, by the way, while I was watching the battle, okay, confession time last night, the reason why I'm cracked out today is because I stayed up until 3 in the morning. And the reason why I stayed up till 3 in the morning is because I got it into my head last night that I wanted to make some mocha ice cream. And so I started making mocha ice cream at 1 a.m. because I was like, it'll take, 15 minutes to make the base, and then you put it in the machine, and it's like, it'll be done at 2. And that's when I'll be done watching The Valley. Fast forward to the fact that it was not done until 3, and so I was churning ice cream while watching The Valley, which is my own fault. And that's my confession of being a chocoholic, is that I was kept up until 3 by my desire to have a chocolately frozen treat on top of the chocolate chip cookie I had.
You had quite a day.
as a backup for the chocolates that I received.
God. We're just basically in the Weight Watchers meeting right now, confessing our whole lives.
It was delicious ice cream, by the way. It was from the Van Leeuwen cookbook. Pick it up, guys. Okay. So
did they send you a vault?
I wish.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Getting the smile and confidence you've been dreaming about, all from the comfort of your home, isn't a total mystery with Bite Clear Aligners. Just don't be surprised if all your friends start asking, what's your secret? Begin by ordering your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95. Bite Clear Aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer flexible financing, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Okay, so we opened at Jackson Brittany's house, and Brittany's going to overnight with the girls in Malibu.
Fun times like and such. So Jax is like, what time are you leaving here? Can it be any sooner? And she's like, well, Janet will probably be here soon. And he's like, so you're gonna drive Janet's car? No, Janet's gonna drive my car because I hate driving. I'm not about to drive all the way to Malibu. Hey, it'd be fun if we had a Chevy Malibu. And I'm like, I'm taking the Malibu to Malibu. Do they even call it a Chevy Malibu in Malibu? Do they just call it the Chevy here? JX.
So he's like, where are you going in Malibu? She's like, it's a big house on the water because the current Miss USA had it and she's got to leave early, so we're going to go watch her. Brittany is doing that thing. She started doing it in her last couple of seasons of Vanderpump Rules, where someone was like, I don't know, she took a commercial class and someone was like, know your type. And she's like, I'm a girl from Kentucky. And so she just came back and quadrupled her accent every episode.
It's out of control.
I mean, when she first started the show, she's like, hi, Lisa, I'm Brittany. I would love to work here. And now she's like, hi, Lisa. I mean, it's like she's talking in Hick Morse code. It's like she's adding multiple syllables to her words now.
She is doing our impersonation of her at this point, and she's also inserting so many little giggles to anything. She's like, I'm gonna go get some M&Ms right now, and you're like, you're really leading into this. I feel the same way. I'm like, it was never this wild, was it?
Well, I think the giggles, and this is gonna suck because I know this instinctively, and I'm still making fun of it, which is terrible. But I think the giggles are just like a self-conscious thing because she's so miserable. It's like that laughing until you're crying thing. And people who laugh like that are going to cry any second, which you guys might notice I kind of laugh like that the entire podcast. And I'm definitely that kind of person with my basic, boring depression. But I'm like always on the verge. And I think she's just on the verge at all times.
I know,
and
but it's more like
she's with Jax, who's just a fucking monster.
But it's also like her giggles have such like a round giggle sound to them. They're like, you know? It's not like haha. It's like it's literally it's HYUK.
It's like its own language at this point. I want to play it into a Google Translate and see what it spits out, because it's like a full on around the world moment. It's like it's like, hello, how are you? Do you know where there's a pizza shop?
It's like someone tuning a theremin at this point.
Can you tell I'm getting ready to go to Italy? That's what I'm looking up. Hello, how are you? Do you know how to get to a pizza shop?
You realize this is how everyone in Europe is going to talk about us. Look at the Americans.
I'm Rondo, but you can call me Ronnie. My mom's name is Rhonda, and I got Nell at the end. How about them apples, huh?
Hi, you got any of those Italian ices, or you just calling ices over here?
Y'all know Chevy Malibus here? They call Chevy Italians.
Wow, sure is pretty here in London. Why do they call a big band? It's just a clock.
Hey, Ben, look over there. That's what we used to call Ben before he lost weight.
Hi, congratulations on your bridge. You got it picked up again after it fell down.
Okay, so she just talked about the current Miss USA. So we have to see her because her name was invoked. As that's what happens with Miss USA people on Bravo. You even mention them, and here they appear vapidly. They appear in a vapid puff of smoke.
It's kind of like Candyman. It's like the Bravo version of Candyman. You say Miss USA not even 3 times, just 1 time, and they just appear in your mirror, and they're like, "You look really good today. Thanks."
Yeah,
haunting pageant queen.
Yeah, and she is terrifyingly. And when I say vapid, I don't know the girl. Maybe she's really smart or something. I don't mean stupid. I just mean void of all humanness, or humanity. Because we cut to Nia, and Nia's like, my boobs hurt. And she's like, I'm here, but then I have to go to Florida for another appearance. It's like, oh, God. Is there anything human in you?
She reminded me of my Ergo Rapido stick vacuum. Like, sort of just like skinny, useful, but like the battery runs out quickly.
Yeah, she's a napper for sure. So then we cut back. So Nia's like, must be a tough life doing appearances. And she's like, yeah, real tough life. Gotta go to Tampa later. So then we cut back to Brittany, and Brittany's like, well, Nia invited me to Shale, Jasmine, Kristen, Janet. Why not take advantage of that and go have fun? Fun is not a 3-syllable word, Brittany, and you fucking know it. Stop. Stop
From
your
what I'm
performative
hearing.
hickism.
So Jax is like, well, I guess everyone's kind of good now, huh? It's like, yeah, well, from what I hear, everyone's at a point where we can hopefully move on. Fingers crossed. Now help me tie this bindle to my stick.
By the way, you started all of these fights, so stop acting like... Stop acting like, well, I hope we don't get along before I make everybody fight again. So he's like, yeah, well, you guys are gone. Might as well have a pool day. So then we cut to Jesse and Michelle's house, and Michelle is packing for Malibu. And, sometimes it takes a minute to get a handle on who these people are and, like, how we're going to talk about them or, like, what the real twist of their personality is. And I finally realized who Michelle reminds me of. Okay, at a pool, the thing that cleans the pool on the bottom of the pool and it just goes across the pool really slowly? That sounds like... That's her. That's Michelle.
I can see that.
That's how she talks. It's how she moves.
I was going to say she sort of reminds me of at the carnival, that ride with the little cars that just goes around in a circle. It's like a merry-go-round, but it's cars. So it's like a smaller, less interesting merry-go-round. That's what she reminds me of.
Well, there you go. So
Kind of both the same thing, just two sort of machines that make a low level hum and sort of go in circles.
two extremely not exciting machines. So then she had one good conversation with her husband in like 10 years. So she's like in a good mood now. And so she's being smiley with him. And she's like, don't you like my Harry style Adidas? Ha ha. And he's like, great. Yeah, amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that's over. I guess his his attempt at being a nice husband is now over. We're out of that phase.
Back to mutual hatred. Yeah. So Michelle's like, I'm not good at packing. He goes, yeah, I think you're fine. And then he picks up a drawing from their daughter, Isabella, and he goes, do we need this thing? I don't think she's even going to notice if we throw it away. He just tosses it in the garbage. Her little drawing from when she was 3 years old, like that he will never be able to treasure again in his life. Yeah. So we go over to Kristen and Luke, and they're at coffee, and they're talking about sex and everything. And Luke's like, your boobs look really good. She's, thanks. Seriously? I still need that massage. Caw.
I can't believe my boobs still look this good after Ruth had diarrhea.
Eating all the petals that were left around. Wouldn't be that so cool if that was like the night when we conceived? And then they like cross their fingers and everything. Like, maybe we have it this time. Maybe we got a baby.
Oh, God, please don't. And he's like, yeah. It was so awesome last night. We didn't even make it to the bedroom. First of all, no one cares, you two. And second of all, you're really trying too hard to convince everybody that you're having a lot of sex. And I just don't believe it until they show the shot of the dogs crying. Because he's like, we didn't even make it to the couch. And then they show like 10 dogs sitting on the couch like, please don't fucking hear again. Please. And they have those dogs. Kristen's smart because she gets the dogs that are already have terrified eyes. You know, those dogs that are like,
right.
They've kind of got little chihuahua eyes. Where they're like, oh, please don't have sex in here.
She definitely has Disney dogs in the sense that like she has like two little dogs, and then there's Jill, who's like a big dog. And you know, if it was like a Disney cartoon, Jill is like the protector dog, and they're like, we don't know what to do, Jill. And Jill says, come here, little ones. No need to look at the humans fucking across the room.
If Jill ever gave them like drawing therapy, they just draw faces with no facial features on them. Jill would be like, it's okay. Just block it out. Block it all out.
One of the dogs is like,
movies.
I was like, whoa.
That's a very traumatized dog. I'm sorry.
One of the dogs is like,
I mean, seriously, Kristen? You were like fucking in the front seat of the car and I was in the trunk.
Just a Monica dog.
It's a Monica dog. The dog has like 13 names. Okay, so then we go back to Jax and Brittany's house, and Jax is leaf blowing because, you know, Jax loves cosplaying as a dad. And I know he's actually doing it now, kind of technically. I know he's technically set up to be doing it. I still don't believe it. He can mow his lawn and play with the leaf blower all he wants. I'm still not buying it. I think Cruz might not be real. I'm just saying. Cruz is a cartoon. Cruz is AI.
He's AI. Yeah. So then the producer's like, do you have an obsession with your leaf blower? He's like, why does everyone say that? No, I mean, yes. I mean, like, okay, well, I got obsessed with it because I thought it was blow at first, and then it turns out it's actually a blower. And so anyway, one thing led to another, and I'm kind of like OCD. So God, I like everything has to have a place, which is why I blow leaves all around to indiscriminate corners.
That it's nice to have something that blows as much as I suck. Does that make any sense? Like brings balance to the backyard.
I got a leaf blower.
I have a leaf blower, yeah.
But I've a
used
problem
it
with
twice.
mine.
I hate it.
I love mine, but here's the thing. So I've got like a little terrace, and it's always collecting leaves and dust. Everything always blows onto it. And so I got this little leaf blower. But the thing is that the terrace kind of has like walls. And so what happens is I just blow the leaves around, and they swirl around in a circle, and I just chase leaves around in this little square. And I'm like, why did I get this thing? This is not helping me whatsoever.
You know what's good? A wet vac. You know those big, huge wet vacs for the garage? They're like huge. They're like big circles that roll around on the ground. Yeah. They look like short trash cans. I got one of those because it has the strength of a leaf blower, but then you turn a switch and it sucks at that same strength. So you can suck in the leaves, which is what people should be using. Like, that's the kind thing to do. You shouldn't be blowing leaves at cars and other people's yards. That's so shitty of people, and it's always made me crazy. And then I got a leaf blower, and I'm like, I'm the ultimate fucking hypocrite. So I went and I got the other thing, and it's great. Now I just suck up leaves and dead bugs.
Oh, that's great because my terrace is like it gets so dusty and dirty so quickly, and then the dust like cakes on, so you can't even like blow the dust away. And okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna
you
look
go.
into it.
So, what do you want to bet? How much money do you want to bet? I'm going to bet $10 that Jax occasionally sticks his penis in the leaf blower. I think he does.
What would be? Does he turn on the leaf blower when that happens too? Does his dick just get flopped around inside the tube? Like,
I think so. I think he just like gets off
then
on like withstanding the wind.
but then if he splooges in there, it's just gonna all come flying out his chest.
Please, you think Jax has never been covered in his own splooge?
That's true.
And other people's, really, thinking about that Miami guy, remember?
Yeah, that's true. So, Brittany,
Gotta work. You know what I mean?
yeah. So we see Jax like cleaning things up and getting annoyed that there's like lots of dishes. So now we come back from that and Brittany enters the kitchen and she's like, Chris, you look so handsome, bub. Are you excited to have a night without me? And Jax is like, yeah, no, go out, have fun with your girlfriends. She goes, you say that, but then you get mad at me whenever I do get home. And he's like, oh, well, I get mad when you come home wasted and you come into the room when I'm sleeping. That's when I get mad at you.
And it's like, I love Jax, but I literally try to be positive and happy. And Jax is a lot of times like, he's just moody and negative. Well, yeah, who'd you fucking marry, Pollyanna? You married Jax, okay? You married Jax on the come down. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, in all senses of that word. And so Brittany's like, look, okay, I got games I'm bringing to this weekend, this night. I've got tequila. And he's like, oh, well, God forbid you forget the tequila. And she's like, well, a lot of times I feel like we balance each other out in that way. But like other times, like I got to get out of here. I got to do something.
So this is the episode we find out that Brittany's just a raging alkie. I love this show. Like this show, I did not see this coming where Jax is the one complaining about the partner drinking.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Jax literally has had 5 noses to keep up with his partying ways. Are you fucking kidding me, Jax?
Yeah, this was a big surprising twist that I guess it's not that surprising that Brittany might be the drunkard of the two because in her later seasons of Vanderpump Rules, she was very much like I love tequila. So I guess we saw this approaching.
Well, I guess there's just that moment, and it especially hits people from these shows like Summer House, Vanderpump Rules, the ones where they were never really that young to begin with, like let's be honest, but we watch them age on the show, and there comes that time where the audience is like, okay, you shouldn't be this drunk still, but they're still drunk. And I remember when I was watching this show, I was coked out half the time, but it's like that was a long time ago. And so, I don't know. It's like, I think it becomes one of those things where the audience has kind of grown past some of these things, but the people on the shows are still doing it and they have babies. Now, I don't want to drink shame people, and I don't want to drink shame her. I mean, listen, she's with Jax. I agree with Janet when Janet's like, she's lit all the time, and I don't blame her. She's married to Jax, wouldn't you be? Because I kind of agree with that. And Lord knows, I mean, my mom still brags about drinking a bottle of wine a day and smoking a pack a day while she was pregnant with me. So that's what I come from. But I don't know. It's just weird. I never thought Brittany would like have a toddler and be like coming home barfing wasted all the time. That's kind of goals. To be honest.
that's what we're seeing in this episode. So Janet picks her up and they start heading off to Malibu.
I like Brittany now is what I'm saying. That was a very long way of me trying to explain that I like Brittany now. Sorry.
So Janet is like, by the way, I looked at the house on Zillow, and if we were to be renting this house, it would be $25,000 a month. It's like a really nice house. And then she's like, yeah, and like, of course I've looked at all my friends' houses on Zillow. Like anytime I get an address, the first thing I do is put it into Zillow and give myself a little house tour. I know exactly how much everybody has paid for their houses when they last sold, about how much they pay taxes per year. Except for Zach, when I entered in his address, Zillow just said, I'm sorry, that's beneath us, which was weird. I didn't know that was programmed in.
So, by the way, Zach's hair is real. Did you know that? Did you hear that? Breaking news?
Someone sent us something that I didn't watch it, but someone said that there was something where Zach showed that his hair was real.
I didn't watch it either. I just believe it because there were enough comments being like, guys, his hair's real. And so I was like, okay, I guess I believe you. It's like 10 of you. But yeah, I guess there's a thing where he puts his fingers through his hair and shows you that it's real hair. I mean, then get a haircut. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse for what's happening.
Now you have a styling issue. Okay.
Either way, you need to work on it is what we're saying. But I don't believe people all the time because Jeff Lewis does it too. Like Jeff Lewis, he's like, well, did you say that he said something like, did you say that I wear a wig? I said, no, I just said it looks like you wear a wig. But it was a long time ago that I said, I didn't know him then. And I was like, but it does. And he's like, it's not a wig. And I said, yes, it is. And he's like, he pulled like his hair, like he puts his fingers in and he pulls on his hair. And he's like, it's not a wig. Do you want to feel it? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. But he proved that it wasn't a wig, but I still left there. I was like, how did he trick me? Because I think it's a wig. Like, I don't know how people do it.
Lisa Rinna had for many years, remember, she had to prove that she wasn't wearing a wig.
Yeah. And you know where that came from? Brandy. Do you know where that started with us? With, I used to say it all the time, like her stupid wig. I don't know if it started with me, but that's one of the first interactions I ever had with Lisa Rinna was before that Brandy thing. And she's like, I don't wear a fucking wig. I was like, yes, you do. I was like, and now she embraces wigs. I said, you do wear a wig, and I don't know. I'm not saying you're bald under there, but maybe you have a wig that's already styled so you can just go out in the day. You know what I mean? She's like, I do not wear, and she's like pulling her hair back and showing us. But I still believe that you wear. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Well, but now she's like,
I have it in my head.
And then we, of course, had to sit through a million scenes of her talking about like, I'm gonna wear Jackie tonight. So Nia arrives at the Malibu house. Nia's at the Malibu house, and Michelle arrives. And Michelle's like, "Oh my God, how did you find this?" And Nia's like, "Well, my friend was in town, and like she had to leave early, and so, but she had like this place, and so she's like, come on, stay." Nia has this voice. I really find her voice actually very comforting. And I'm not just saying this because I called her a monster in the previous episode.
You're trying to be extra nice to her now because you were mean to her and said she was a monster.
No, because my friend has a very similar voice, and like I love my friend. But like it's that funny thing where the voice is like, it's sort of like thin. It's like thin and up here, but then it like cracks and like it sort of breaks a little bit. She's like like this.
It's like she's got a sore throat, kind of like up there.
Danielle.
Yeah.
So she just is like happy to have some fun and like, you know, family life, everything. It's just like it's hard, no breaks. So this is what this night is for. So Jasmine arrives next, and they don't let her say anything because Jasmine and Zach are just like these like random people on the side that just like pop up in scenes here and there and don't say anything.
And so Nia's like, I'm glad you guys get to see my friend's house because we need the zen, we need the peace, and I think we're gonna do painting and sipping and painting. Sounds fun, Nia. Sounds great. It's like, I can't wait to party. We're gonna paint and talk about feelings.
And then go back to Janet and Brittany driving along, and Janet's like, the only thing I'm worried about right now is Kristen and Michelle. Like, I feel like they talked at the gala and they're like, okay, but they're like not great. And Brittany's like, no. And Janet's like, I just want to see Kristen come in, like calm, peaceful vibes, drama free, and hopefully only falls over on a table like 3 or 4 times.
I'll pray on this cheese puff that everybody gets along tonight. There ain't nothing like praying on a Cheeto.
Praying on a Cheeto. Waiting for a Cheeto to fall. Waiting for a Cheeto to fall. That's in my life and my heart. Okay, so Jax's house. So it's time for the pool day, and Jesse shows up with Isabella resentfully. Like you can just see how much he just resents his child. And so he's
and
like, all right.
Versa. I mean, he's raised his little twin because she hates his guts.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
He's like, all right, let's go in and say hi to Cruz and Jackson, everyone. She goes,
No.
what do you mean, no?
You stupid daddy.
Yeah. And so he puts her down and she just runs straight to the playroom.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
The Coca-Cola Company, Keurig Dr. Pepper, and PepsiCo are bringing consumers more choices with less sugar than ever before. From sparkling, flavored, and bottled waters to zero-sugar sports drinks, teas, and sodas, consumers are taking advantage of these choices. In fact, nearly 60% of beverages sold contain zero sugar. To learn more, visit balanceus.org.
And so they go outside, and the guys come. The boys all start coming, and they're like, "What's up, bro? So then back in Brittany's. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
That was just Zach's little bro at the end there. Bro. Puts his palm out. Bro, bring it backwards hot right now. Bro.
Okay, I'm ready for the pain goth.
So back in Brittany's car, she's like, "Oh, guess what? Jack just texted and he said, don't worry about us. Get drunk and have fun and be careful. We love you." All right, well, we all hear it right now, right? It's in writing right now. It's in text. Okay, this is the word of Jack Sailor on a text message. He cannot be made at me tomorrow.
I mean, those guys are so hypocritical. Like, they have all these double standards. Like, it's just so annoying. Because, like, the other day, I wasn't feeling good, and Jax kept making it worse. And I'm like, stop making it worse. I don't feel good, Jax.
And then they cut to 9 days ago. So Brittany's, like, in bed. Like, she can't get out of bed. And Jax is like, "Oh, my God, disgusting. You're fucking disgusting."
She's like, "Why are you shaking your head at me?" "Oh, Jax, I can't help it if I don't feel good."
And he's like, "Yes, you can. You know better." So
No, she doesn't. She married you.
Yeah. I think like she was sometimes you're tolerant of other people's things because you want them to be tolerant of your things. But that's a mistake to make with Jax because he expects everybody to tolerate his shit, but he will never tolerate yours, you know?
Right.
I mean, you're very drunk so you can be drunk. Let's face it.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I mean, enough's enough. Like, stop fucking drinking. You want to have more kids? Act like a mom." Which is like, whoa, that's so vile.
He's
like,
so
you want to have
disgusting.
more kids? Act like a mom.
Oh, yeah, he's
so.
gross. By the way, my mom drank. My mom still drinks like a fucking champ. Okay, and she acts like a mom plenty.
So Brittany's like, "Oh, you know, he actually goes out of his way more than I do, like, which I don't even like care." But I'm like, he comes home like drunk or whatever and such like. But if I do it, I'm like the worst thing in the world.
Well, in the first part of this episode, I think we're all like, "Yeah, go Brittany. You fuck him. He can come home drunk. You can come home drunk too." Like at least I was. While I was watching this, I'm like, Team Brittany the whole way, you know. And then by the end of the episode, I'm like, oh,
She
yeah.
may need to.
She
may need to look into some things.
I don't think I've said this in a long time, but Team Jax. Okay, so she's like, "Yeah, if I come home drunk, it's the worst thing." And she's like, "Yeah," and like he gets like hangover days, but you don't get hangover days. She's like,
"Yeah, where's my hangover day? Am I right?"
Yeah, he's really starting to upset me a lot and such. Okay, hand me a tequila. I'm really sad.
Yeah.
So this is where Janet's like, sometimes, I am a little concerned by how lit Brittany gets, but she is married to Jax Taylor, so makes sense.
Yeah. Some people call it alcoholism. I call it anesthesia, in this case.
So they pull up to the Malibu house, and Brittany's like, "Oh, this is the fanciest Harris Teeter I've been to." And they walk in and everything, and it's not. "So we're bringing the party. The party's here. The party's here."
Brittany's that friend who's a Hooters waitress. I mean, it really does write itself, But Brittany is that friend who like comes over after working at Hooters and you're having a painting party. I mean, just the scene is so funny. They're like, "Let's paint and talk about our feelings and postpartum depression." And Brittany's like,
"Party, yeah! I just snorted the Cheeto in the car. I had diarrhea in the car on the way over, but I put it in this box."
So then Kristen arrives last, and she's like, hi, God, so sorry. I'm not like feeling well. I just like felt so sick this morning. Yeah, I'm just like really, really sick. I'm probably gonna barf on all of you guys." But then I ate, and like Luke was like, "Is it morning sickness?" I'm like, seriously? Well, and then he's like, "Well, Piano's sick." And I was like, "You don't have to ask me to do that twice. I kind of do that every morning. Doesn't matter. Pregnancy sick, lacrosse sick. Just give me a sick. I'll pee on it. You know what I'm saying?" But guess what? Not pregnant.
I pissed everywhere, literally everywhere. All right, where should I put this cheese?
She just comes in carrying like this picture with like 12 boxes stacked up to her head, just kind of wobbling in and dropping things and
She's
juggling
like a comforter.
dogs. She's so crazy.
It's like an entrance.
Every single time. So yeah, she's a mess, and they're just all kind of staring at her like, okay, well, I guess it's gonna be another day with Kristen over here. And Michelle's like, please don't have a kid because we don't need more of you around. So they go up the upstairs patio
Pool
and
is
they're
clean.
doing their sip and paint. Oh, what'd you say, hun?
Pool is clean. I'm imagining that that's part of her functionality is like some sort of text message you get.
Does anybody else get sick of choking on June bugs?
I hate those like skinny leaves. You know, the ones that are really skinny? The worst.
So now it's time for the sip and paint. And Nia is like, this is my friend Tammy, and I just wanted to have time with you guys so we could bond. And Tammy's going to lead us through this sip and see. And I don't really want to talk about anything, but I'm incredibly depressed, and that's why I painted depression. I just painted a black portrait of depression. That's how I feel. I can't get over it. I'm never going to get over it. Why?
And Tammy's like, all right, ladies, so the objective for today is going to be to make a butterfly. And then it cuts to Kristen looking like, yeah, it's kind of my thing. Yeah, Mariposa, wearing a necklace.
Look at my necklace. Mariposa.
Mariposa.
Calm.
So,
Calm, all right? Hey, do you have a butterfly I can pee on? Find out if I'm pregnant.
Oh, I didn't want to poop all around the butterflies. So Tammy's like, she's like, now guys, you don't have to make the butterfly, even though it is a really super simple shape that you're all in your late 40s and probably know how to make it. But you're not in your late 40s? Sorry. Stay out of the sun, guys. Anyway, think about an intention for your painting, like a butterfly intention, because anyone can do that unless you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. My new intention is to stop cursing at my clients. Oh, so what do you want to grow into? Like maybe a butterfly. I'm not trying to force a butterfly agenda onto you guys. I'm just like really proud of my butterfly painting, and no one has even complimented me about it yet, except for that weird girl who's trying to pretend like it was her idea in the first place. Okay, new intention. Calm down. Calm down, Tammy.
So Janet's like, I feel like my intention today is to heal and to laugh. And Brittany's like, so you're going to do a smiley face?
That's what LJ. Let's smiley face if you want to laugh.
So what's Michelle's intention? She's like,
That's a hard question. This has probably been one of my hardest years. I have so many words for intentions, but I guess my first intention is going to be love. To love myself, to love my family, to love everybody in my life, because I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a butterfly painter, I'm a sip and seer, I'm a sand between my toeser, I'm a cloud.
Tammy's like, that's very nice, but why are you painting a Harry Styles Adidas on your canvas? I just want someone to see it.
I want someone to smile at my Harry Styles Adidas, please.
I just want someone to acknowledge that I spent $3,000 on eBay for this. So Michelle's like, yeah, my intention is going to be love. And Janet's like, I love that. And Brittany's like, well, and I love you. And Janet's like, well, you know that we're all here for you too, Michelle. Like, we don't want you to feel like you're alone. Which is, I'm sure, how you feel in your marriage right now. And Brittany's like, yeah, 100%. You're not alone.
So Kristen's like, okay, well, I guess I can say that my intention for this moment is shoulder shimmies, but only one.
Paint is splattering on everyone as Kristen's trying to talk. It's a
People are just getting paint on their faces.
Like, all right, here's my intention. So my intention is peace, because I feel like lately there's been issues and frustrations and like lack of trust. And I think my biggest thing, like if we could just all be like a little more empathetic, because like I'm an empath, guys, okay?
And then the producers, God bless them.
This happened. Look, it's still tickling me. This was the best thing I've seen on TV so far this year. When it just cuts to Kristen, she goes, I'm an empath. And then he goes, one shoulder shimmy.
It's so hard to be an empath.
And then knocks into her head and almost knocks her over. And then it cuts to a Kristen being an empath montage.
It starts off with "Suck a dick, Diana."
Suck a dick, Diana. I laughed so hard I literally had to pause to laugh.
This was the funniest montage, and the fact that they just stuck it right in the middle of this thing was amazing. All of Kristen's greatest hits.
I'm gonna knock your fucking ass out.
Stop interrupting me.
Oh God. So she's like, yeah, I just want to like fix everybody's problems, you know. I'm like an empath, so God, I forgot how painful it is talking about Kristen sometimes. Fuck.
I'm a good person. So then everyone's like, empath? No, I don't think so. Does she even know the definition of it? So Kristen's like, yeah, my intention's peace. And Nia's like, yeah, and same for me, like peace. Like I need the light and like I need the positivity. And I think it's because I have like so much going on right now with Daniel. And like that I have to be like, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. But like I'm not really that fine. So, you know, I'm just like, oh, it's gonna go away. But it's like not gonna go away. And it's actually very emotional. I'm just trying to do her voice right now. But like she's, you know, obviously going through postpartum and she's really struggling with it. And she talks about it that like she's been like the first baby was fine, but the twins has been like much harder. And she's like feeling like is this just going to be her new reality? She's just going to be sad all the time. And she just says it's like a wave. It just like comes out of nowhere and covers her and then slowly dissipates. And, you know,
God,
wrap it goes out for her.
Wrap it up. I can't with the depression section. I can't. I'm not saying don't be depressed, you know. I just can't dwell on it. I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen. Okay?
It's very sad.
Go from Kristen being like, suck a dick, I'm an empath, to like, I'm legitimately sad. Here's what I will say. It must be difficult, like having all these things that came out of you, running around, pooping, flinging their snot everywhere, and just being such little fucking users. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be, at some point, you got to be like, I'll do everything for you. I'm up all night long for you, and all you do is want. You never say thank you. You never say anything. You don't even talk to me. I have problems. You don't listen to me. I need a nap. I never get a fucking nap. I don't know how anybody doesn't kill their children. Like, honestly, I don't know how anybody puts up with it. They just
everything that you just said, I said last night to those little boxes of chocolates in the peacock box. I was like, what have you done for me, huh?
They're giving me pleasure. I cannot stop staring at this little Rosewater Shaw's of Sunset chocolate. I'm not eating it right now because I'm trying to prove that I have some self-control, but God damn it, it's calling me.
Well, the TLDR is that Nia is really struggling, and when the producers are trying to get her to explain more of it, she can't even talk about it. She has to like pause and then pretend like she wants to go check on her kids. It's like very sad to watch.
Well, but also, what the fuck is a producer asking? This is the producer's question, by the way. So is it like a reaction to having children and then the family and the love? Is it an adverse reaction to that? Okay.
As if the producer doesn't know what postpartum is. Yeah, he's just trying to make her cry.
Yeah, and she does.
Which she does.
Can we take a break? So she's crying. She's upset. So, and then, of course, she has to check her phone because you can't leave the husband at home. We've all seen Mr. Mom.
Well, I mean, I think it was a distraction. I think she was just trying to be like, I don't want to cry. Here comes like the pageant queen. I'm just like, I'm not crying. I'm not depressed. I'm just going to check on my kids until I'm not crying anymore on camera. So Kristen's like, well, you know, it's okay to not be okay, Mariposa. And he was like, yeah. So then we go back over to the barbecue, and Jesse's making burgers, and everyone's playing in the pool and everything, and Jax just starts to like eat a burger that's just been like sitting out on the side of the pool for hours with flies around it.
It has flies. He's like, who cares? You know? They're like, you can get sick from that. The flies are going to get sick. If the flies had any of that saliva, you're going to see flies just stumbling over, driving drunk, getting pulled over.
One of those flies may have gotten impregnated.
They're like, wait a minute. There's like, actually a fly trying to snort the mustard out of that cap.
Is that fly wearing a chunky sweater now?
That fly just took off his sweater to fight with another fly. What's going on?
Jax, I'm sorry to tell you, you did not get the social media job in Tampa. We gave that to a fly. So now Danny is not coming to pool day because his air conditioning went out. I'm like, that's again, if you're in a house that's boiling hot, why would you not go to someone's swimming pool?
Well, I think he was waiting for the air conditioning person. I'm guessing, like he was trying to wait for an air conditioning person to come over. But he's like, "Yeah, it's 89 degrees in my house right now. I'm not coming, man. I can't. Because guess what? I got 302 over here. 302.
302 when it's 89 above. Hi. By the way, congrats to the air conditioners in the Valley breaking on 2 different shows, because it also happened in Ariana's room. Remember?
Yeah.
The whole reason why
they've
Maya
got their
almost
work
died.
cut out for them. And
Yeah.
you know, as I mentioned in this episode, the Valley's fucking hot. I live in Texas, and it is so hot here. It is insanely hot. And yeah, sometimes the air conditioners, like you literally hear them go, "Ow, I can't." Ba-dum, bum, bum. And they just die. They're like, "I'm done. Just fucking kill me already." And they kill themselves all the time around here. You have to pay a lot. Like you have to be on a membership over here so that they'll come out to you. They'll put you in the front of the line, because if you just call here, they'll be like, "There's a 3-week wait." So you have to be on a membership where, you know, you pay a lot of money a month to be in the priority list. It's like getting clear
That's
at
wild.
the airport. Isn't that crazy?
Air conditioner clear.
Because you'll die if your air conditioner goes out here. You can't live.
No.
I don't know how
you
the
can't.
settlers did it.
No, I don't know. So Jack's asking Jesse how the therapy situation is, and Jesse's like, "Oh, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. It's just like, oh, but then he said this, and then he said this." Just like complete chaos. By the way, if you're that person who complains about therapy because it's just like everyone's piling onto you, it's not the fault of therapy. It's usually because you're a disaster. This happens. How many times do we see this of people saying like, "Oh God, therapy was just a gang up session. That's all it was. The therapist's coming at me. She's coming at me." It's like, yeah, because you're fucking up. That's why people come at you.
I complain about therapy, honestly, to be honest. I just don't want to be a hypocrite. I mean, look, my problem with therapy is I leave there and I feel like I'm the only one really doing any work. It's like, am I the only one in this relationship? Like, why am I the only one talking about their problems? Like, you don't open up at all.
I have therapy today. I'm very excited. I love therapy.
Can't wait to see what she thinks.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, yeah.
It's a he.
It is. I knew that. I'm sorry.
I love my therapist. You know, it's great. I mean, I feel like Crappens is therapy, and then therapy is therapy. I just get it all out of the system.
Yeah.
So these people are just avatars for the issues in our lives, right?
Well, update. I just ate these shots of chocolate, shots of sunset chocolate. I couldn't wait. So talking about therapy, it was pretty good. Hello there. This is a 2-part recap. Okay, this is the end of part 1. So thank you so much for listening to this. Just come back a little later for part 2.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides. We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or You can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
50 high school senior girls descend on Mobile, Alabama every summer to compete for a massive cash prize. It isn't Survivor. It's one of America's most lucrative scholarship competitions for teen girls. It's been around for 7 decades. Now you'll hear what took place behind the scenes. From Pineapple Street Studios and Wondery, this is The Competition. I'm your host, Shima Oliai, and I was Nevada's contestant 20 years ago. Now I'm returning as a judge to find out what 2 weeks with 50 of the country's most ambitious teens can tell us about girlhood in America. What happens when the competitors are thrown into the deep end with the best and brightest? And how does surviving the competition prepare them for everything that comes after? Follow The Competition on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of The Competition early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I love a good parasocial relationship with a celebrity who will probably never know my name.
I mean, honestly, who knows? Don't count yourself out. But my favorite part about these feuds is how they're ignited by the tiniest things.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
I accidentally laminated my brows too much.
It starts small and then it gets so big.
To be honest, Naomi, I'm fearful of you to this day.
I don't know her.
We all just have to admit, we're addicted. Everybody has opinions. Everyone picks sides.
Leave Britney Spears alone right now!
From Wondery, I'm Sydney Battle.
And I'm Matt Belisai.
And this is Dis and Tell, where we unpack why we get so invested in these feuds and whether or not our attention only makes the whole thing worse.
Follow Dis and Tell wherever you get your podcasts.